Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another type of signal that we can create in Angular. In our previous session, we discussed about three types of signal: number signal, string signal, and array signal. So this session is in the continuation of the same, where we will talk about object signal and any type signal. Okay. So these are some of the commonly used signals that we use in our application, right? So here in this session, I'll tell you how we can create an object. I'll tell you two different ways, like one is using interface and one is the directed or the defined object, right? So I'll tell you both ways, and also we will discuss how to create the any type signal. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to create signal with object. Okay, so let's get started. Here, what we can do now, you can just simply go to this app.component.ts file. In this app.component.ts file, you can simply create your own object. Now, how to create the object? So to create the object, I'll tell you different ways. Okay. So firstly, what we will do, let's say we want to create an object with the name letter1, because in last session we take this example, right? There is a letter box, and in that letter box, whenever someone put letter, we will get the notification through signal. This is a hypothetical condition, right? That's why I'm taking the same variable name here. So here we will define letter1, and this should be of object type. So we will simply write here. After this, we will write here the name of the name is defined. So we will write here signal. Then we will define the object. Okay. Now to define the object, what you can do, you can simply put here like this, and inside this we will write ID as number, then we will put semicolon, then we will put here string, or you can say name as string. Perfect. Okay, so this is how you will define it. Now after defining this, we will put the value, and we all know, like for signal we will put the values in parentheses. So just put parentheses, and in this parentheses we will use curly braces to assign the data. So let's say I want to assign the value as 10, and after that I want a comma, then new value, which is again my name. So here I will write Sharmit. Perfect. So this is my signal, which can hold the data as an object. You can see here we have defined number, string, right? So it is the actual data. Now how to print this data? Can we directly use this letter1 in parentheses? Let's see. So I'll go to app.component.html file. Here we will write a paragraph to print the data, and in this paragraph we will write this is the value coming from signal, and then double curly braces. And here if you try to put the value as letter1, so it will give you error, not error but a warning. Let me show you. So if you go for new terminal, here you will write ng serve -- open and enter. So it will take few seconds and it will show one warning, but you can see here we are getting the output as signal object. That means this is not the right way. And same thing we also noticed while printing the numbers, right, and a string. So you can see here letter1 is a function, and it should be invoked, but here there is a twist. If you invoke with this, still it will show you object. Why? Because this is also not the right way. So one way is you can use JSON here, JSON after a pipe symbol. So what it will do, it will tell you the exact value which is coming, like ID 10, name Sharmit. Another way is that, let's say if I want to print the name only, so what I can do, I can write here dot and then name, and now you can see it is showing the name. this is the value coming from signal and value is Sharmit. Likewise, if you want to print the ID, you can print the ID as well. Okay, so this is how we can use the Angular signal with object. Now another interesting thing, let's go to app.component.ts file again. Here we will create another one, but this time we will use a interface. So let me create it with name 2, and here for interface, what I will do now, I'll simply put here user. Okay, and then I'm just directly using the value. Now we need to define this user as an interface, so simply go here, define interface. So I'll write interface user curly braces, and here I can define my values. For example, ID as a number, then we will define the name as a string. That's it. So now what will happen, it will consider this interface here and make sure to put this in before @decorator. Okay, otherwise let me show you, if you try to put it up somewhere here, it will show you kind of error, decorators are not valid here. Okay, so make sure to put it in the beginning. Now once it is added, now we can simply go to app.component.html, just simply copy the same thing, and here we are signal using interface. Okay, so that we can find out the reason. Okay, now here I'll just simply put letter 2.id, and now you can save it and refresh it. So you can see value is coming, but let me change the value so that you can easily identify what value we are getting from here. So let's say 50, and here I will write Amit. Save it and refresh it. So now you can see value is coming as 50. For first one it is sending 10, and for the second one it is sending 50. In case if you print name and save it and refresh it, so you will see this this is the value coming from signal using interface, and the name is coming as Amit. Okay, so this is the all tricks and things that you should know about signal, because with this only, like, you can create a different signal for a object. Now I'll tell you another example where we will be using the any type signal. Okay, so let's go again to app.component.ts file, TypeScript file, and here we will define the another letter 3, and this time I'll be using signal. Okay, I'll be using the any type, so you just need to write here any, and that's it. Now after this, whatever value you will pass here, it will consider that as an input. For example, I put my value as, let's say, string, so I put ABC. Okay, then save it. Now one more thing, let's print it here so that we can check the value accordingly. We are using any type, right? So it will consider anything. So we'll put here letter 3 and save it and refresh it. So yeah, now you can see it is sending ABC. Here we will write using any. Okay, fine. Now let's go again to component.ts file. Here if you pass the number as input, it will consider it as a number element. You can see it is accepting number. Likewise, if you pass object here, as we are doing here, let's me copy the same one just to save the time. And what it is saying, I think we have copied something extra, maybe. Yes, we have copied the extra curly braces, and that's why it is showing the error. Now it is okay, and here you can see it is printing object. Why? Because now we are trying to print the, okay, something is wrong here as well. Yeah, so now what we are doing, we are trying to print the object, and to print the object, either you can use JSON or you can put the actual value. For example, here I can put name, so it will print the name. Okay, so this is how we can use the any type of signal, which will allow us to put any kind of value that we want to store here. And according to, okay, can we store array as well? Let's check. So I'll put square brackets, inside this I'll put ABC and then comma, and then XYZ, not in brackets. Here we will write XYZ. Okay, so now it is an array, and now you can see for printing the array, let's go here again and we will print. Okay, in the last session I think I forgot to tell you that how to print array. So if you want to print 0th element, it is ABC. If you want to print first dimension of the element, because it starts with 0, okay, so now you can see clear. And in case if you want to print the entire value, so let's check with JSON, save it, refresh it, so you are getting the exact value. Okay, so this is how we can define the signal using object as well as any type. I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.